Alert Weather is brought to you by the Medical Center.
Well, the thing is, with these computer forecast models and now a canopy of clouds, it's all really a big question mark as to how things will play out exactly here in southern Kentucky with this incoming potential severe weather. And I say potential because there's always that chance that some things could go a little different direction, may not be as severe as first thought, or some folks may not get much of anything out of it. But this could be a widespread damaging wind event if all the elements in the atmosphere come together as we see it right now. So that's why we say focus on preparation and not what time will it hit my town, how bad is it going to be. We can't answer those questions. But the best thing for you to do is be prepared. That way you're not surprised as to what happens. But here's the severe weather threat, and here's what we think is going to happen. All of Kentucky, that includes all of the WBKO viewing area, you're under that slight risk. Now, the good news is the Weather Service is not looking to upgrade this to a moderate risk. It's just going to stay at a slight risk, but don't let down your guard. This could be one of those systems where, even though we're not seeing much activity right now, later today, a cold front will be punching in toward evening and then moving through the Bowling Green, southern Kentucky area this evening and through the nighttime hours. With that, damaging wind potential will be #1 on the list. #2 will probably be torrential rainfall. I think we're going to get maybe an inch or two very quickly with this system. And yes, there is a small tornado threat. We cannot completely rule that out, and even some hail. But it looks like damaging winds, straight line winds, could bring down some power lines and trees. So that is what we're going to watch mostly for here in the coming hours, especially this evening. On radar right now, things are pretty quiet, so we don't have anything. I showed you at the beginning a few showers passing through, but that's it. Temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s, and thanks to the cloud cover, we're not getting much warmer than that. But the dew points, as you can see here, the amount of moisture in the air, certainly there's plenty of juice for any thunderstorms to get going along and ahead of that front. That front's going to act like a scoop, kind of like grading up the lift in the atmosphere as that front comes by. It's going to lift those parcels of air that are very moist, very warm and humid, and that's what's going to be the culprit for those thunderstorms later. And the winds have kicked up too. That's another component. The wind fields that we look at all different levels or altitude in the atmosphere from the surface on up, they're quite strong with this system. So the winds, even at the surface, 10 to 20, even 25 miles per hour. But this canopy of clouds is doing a good job capping off the atmosphere. And that's why that little system out west of us has fallen apart. There's not much to work with here just yet. 80 degrees right now, southwest wind at 14, pressure is falling. You see a few clouds right now in Franklin, 82. You may get a passing shower here shortly there in Simpson County. Glasgow, you're at 79. You could also see a rain shower out of that system that fell apart this morning. And then you see some clouds behind the Muhlenberg County Courthouse in Greenville. Your temperature is at 78. And Edmonton, our newest AAA Systems weather cam, you can see down on the square as they're getting ready for not only Relay for Life, but also the 400-mile yard sale across US 68. You're cloudy now. Your temperature is at 79 degrees. 81 at the Bowling Green Airport, where it has rained like this morning. They had thunderstorms in Indy. They're only at 65 right now. The sun has come back out in St. Louis after strong storms there this morning, and now they've warmed back to 82. That is going to be the fuel for that next wave of thunderstorms to come through with that front a little bit later this afternoon and evening. Now, so far, not much going on. There's one little severe thunderstorm warning near Ashland at this hour with a flood warning on top of that. Flood watches in Indiana. This is lake wind advisories for western Kentucky, the Boot Hill, Missouri, and that's a flood watch back toward Kansas City. So right now, nothing in the way of severe weather, tornadoes, or anything like that, but we'll be watching this area back to our northwest for development later this afternoon. In fact, there is radar with that first complex this morning falling apart as it hits the canopy of clouds The instability is not that great right now, so a cap on the atmosphere, a lid, if you will, and that's keeping from thunderstorms from developing right now. But we'll watch back to the west for development later today along that front that is going to start to sag southward as we get into this evening. And again, big question mark as to who is going to get what out of this, but the main potential is going to be damaging straight line winds. That's what you need to prepare for. Go ahead and charge up your phones, your devices. If the power goes off, you can still watch us streaming live via WBKO.com and our app. If we need to do that, we'll certainly do that later this evening. Partly sunny, warm, muggy, 87, breezy too this afternoon. Thunderstorms are likely sometime, say toward sunset or after. Overnight low at 70. Some of the storms severe as mentioned. Then tomorrow morning, some leftover showers, but then a little cooler, a little less humid. Clearing up in the afternoon, a high near 80, and off and on through the weekend, and Shane will update this tonight. We may have to adjust some of these lower precipitation possibilities here, or percentages, because some of these could go up a little bit during the weekend. High temperatures will be pretty much in the 80s. We are back with more Midday Live in just a minute.